I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I have a baby from a guy that I don't even know his name that's fighting a murder charge?
When this was your thought process in the past, how are we supposed to take you seriously in the present? Describe. Let's talk about it.
Like every girl that he ever got pregnant always got an abortion, that he really wants somebody that he can love and a child on his own. So now, me feeling sorry for people all the time, I'm like, oh my God. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I have a baby from a guy that I don't even know his name that's fighting a murder charge that I don't know what's going to happen, or do I get an abortion? And I had a baby from him.
Now, naturally, these are the conversations that you have with people later on in their life when they say, yeah, I was young and dumb. I made some silly decisions. Now, the man that I'm looking for, I'm trying to deal with, he has to be of this sort of quality. He has to have these sort of standards. He has to be the best of the best. While we can understand it, we can make room that you grow and you change over time, that what you wanted when you were younger pales in comparison what you actually need now, because you've been tested by the rigors of life. You see it and you say, yeah, life's really humbled me. Now I understand that I should have been looking for these qualities. Now I understand that I should have been doing these things as better. We get that. You can have empathy for that, but we still say, I don't want to follow that. I don't want to follow that. If that was, you looked at one of the most important things you can do for a man is bear his seed, have his child, and you did it for a man of such low standards. Now to turn around and look at that, it's like every time we see your child, we think about what preceded that. We think about, are we in the same league? And it's not fair. You want to call it shallow, I'll allow that. But sometimes who you've been with before matters. That type of quality, that person reflects upon you. Now you're saying that I want to ignore that data point, and it's a huge glaring data point. Now it says, no, but I deserve this. This is why the conversations you see have changed to my last boyfriend, the last man I talked to, he did something exorbitant. Therefore, it's a qualifier why you should now treat me like that. If we grant that, if that is fine for a lot of women on here to say, then your baby daddy and that situation, that scenario matters quite a bit too. Your last man he put you in the Four Seasons, he flew you around the world, he gave you a $20,000 allowance. Okay, but the man you had a baby for did what? What was he? What did he have to do any of those things? No? Why? Well, because he was fighting a murder charge. I didn't know his last name. If having a baby is so unimportant that you can make that decision, then I have to now think, what other things in your life are you doing? Or what are the decisions you make in your life where this sort of thing makes sense for you? It doesn't. I can't find a reason why men would look at that and say, especially well-to-do men would say, yes. Oh no, that's no. The dude's in jail. Well, we can't look him up because you only know his street name. You only know his first name. He was in for a murder charge, but I'm a doctor, right? I'm a surgeon. I've taken the time in my life to go through the rigmarole of schooling, of med school, of residency, to become this. I try to be a pillar of the community. I try to donate. I try to give away my time. I try to do things pro bono. I try to do my best. But this is in your past. This is part of your actual wheelhouse. No one taught you. No one taught you that this was not a good idea. You weren't surrounded by friends, family that says, no, don't do this. This is a bad thing. Like you said, it's a data point that starts to reveal a lot of questionable things. It starts to shed the light and say, well, what about this? What about that? If you would make this decision, that tells me that you probably suffer some low self-esteem, that people around you did not validate you when you were young in ways that were important. Maybe you missed out on having a father. Maybe you missed out on feeling loved. So you don't have this real connection. So you look to force it in place. That you let someone that you barely knew talk you into having his child. Someone that was going through a murder trial. Someone that indicated that if you don't know his last name, you didn't really get a chance to really know him before you guys had sex. It screams so loud that most people are going to look and say, I wish you the best, but your ceiling in terms of the of modern dating now, or the dating pool, is lowered. And I think that's fair for men to have that. And listen, you can turn your entire life around and be a completely different person, but some actions have consequences. This is one of those. Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. We crossed that 5,000 subscriber mark, but the goal is still onward and upward. So we got to, if you get any type of value from the channel, from the posts, from the streams, from these daily videos, subscribe. Besides that, we got merch in the store, so hype the video and share the video. Now, this conversation it seems minuscule. It seems like, okay, this is only a silly thing. But when you look at some of the questionability of some of the topics that women come here and confess about, having sex with men that are homeless, it sometimes comes down to, well, there's an aesthetic that you like. There's a type of bad boy that you like. And that's fine. Again, we never shame people for saying what you want, what you're into, what you like here. That's fine. You can have access to that. It's just the afterwards, the aftermath. After that's in your wheelhouse, that's in your history, that's part of who you are. Now you come out to the wider world and say, have sympathy. Well, you want the rest of the people here, specifically the men. You want those men that have walked a narrower path, a steadier path, one that was still arduous, that saw them a modicum of success. Now you want them to say, just ignore all that stuff that happened to me. Ignore that. That's not important. That's not who I am anymore. It is. It matters. We like to pretend as if it means absolutely nothing, because I always want you to have the best sort of outcome possible. In truth, you have to be accountable for the decisions you made, especially when these decisions have lasting consequences, like a child. And then we have to look at the quality. We have to look at the family attached to said child. This is what we're supposed to be integrating into our lives. It doesn't make sense for us. It doesn't make sense for us. And no amount of shame, no amount of guilt, no amount of manipulation is going to change that formula. The easiest thing you can do is be careful. Vet the person that you're laying down with. Vet the person that you're having sex with. And then vet the reasonability, the feasibility of having someone's kid that is currently on trial for murder. Even if it boggles the mind so much that so he gets convicted. How is he supposed to be a father? When we understand how arduous being a single mom can be, especially when you do not have the income, why would you walk down this path willingly? And then later on, the conversation becomes one for us to solve, for men in general to say, you have to do something about this. And it's not just in her case, but in many women's cases, when you do not test, you do not vet this type of man, but you still say you deserve the highest sort of echelon of men. Men don't understand it, and men are just saying, I'm cool with it. Best of luck to you in whatever mess this ends up being. Listen, if you disagree, I don't think you should. Let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to the sound of my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.